let's start with this. I'm a little upset with Gisele Bundchen, supermodel, because she said after Tom won the Super Bowl, Brady admitted, she came up and said, what do you have to prove? And I'm like, it's not about just that. Like, she's going to be a supermodel forever. She has nothing to prove. It's like, if you are great at something and you're well compensated, nobody's running the Rolling Stones off the stage. Nobody's running Metallica and Denzel off the stage.
Oh, my God.
Why are we rushing to get rid of Brady, the greatest American patriot, the greatest American football hero?
It's the greatest American patriot. Okay. All right. Yeah, listen, there's two people in America that need to retire. Tom Brady and Colin Cowherd, and both for me. Tom Brady, because I'm sick of him, and Colin Cowherd, because I've been waiting for that seat for, you talked about years together. I've been with you for 5 years. Just keep signing contract extensions. Yeah, I agree with Gisele. And unlike, listen, maybe, I don't think Denzel still does his own stunts. I don't, the Rolling Stones, no one's hitting Mick Jagger with a guitar when he walks off the stage. I think Tom should really consider it. I think I heard Tom's interview with James Cordon, talked about throwing that trophy. That could have gone terribly for him. Walk off on a high note, Tom. I know nobody's talking about it, but listen, I think Gisele Bundchen makes some really, really strong points. And I'm really, once again, Colin, you ended last week's interview with a non-question question about Tom Brady, and you're starting this week's. There was no question there. It's just an excuse for you to make me watch these highlights again, which I don't want to watch. So can we please move on?
By the way, you see Nick's haircut today? Look how sharp Nick looks. He looks really good. Well, that's because his wife does that for a living, right?
Thanks.
She's all right. All right, so Joy and I laugh about Dak Prescott. It's the story that won't end. It's like that movie Gettysburg. It's like 7 hours. I'm like, could the story end with Dak? You have a belief on how the Dak Prescott thing is going to end. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know why it took me this long to have this epiphany, but Dak's not signing an extension. And he's not going to sign an extension because he shouldn't. So, Colin, here's the thing. From 2016 until 2022, do you know which NFL player has guaranteed himself the most money? It's Kirk Cousins. $192 million cash money Kirk Cousins will have been compensated from 2016 through 2022 unless the Vikings cut him in the next 20 days. If he's on the roster by, I think it's March 27th, next year's salary, meaning the 2022 salary, gets locked in fully guaranteed. And it's because he played the franchise tag game and won. And so once you get franchise tagged the one time at the quarterback position, if you can stomach it for the second time, you are just essentially guaranteed to be able to sign the perfect contract, which is what Cousins did the first time with the Vikings, and then he was able to parlay that into a second contract with the Vikings, both of which de facto fully guaranteed. So I don't think Dak's going to blink. I think Dak's going to say, you paid me $31 million last year. You're going to have to pay me $37 million this year, and then I'm going to be able to either sign with you or with anybody on my terms. And so I think the Cowboys misplayed this hand. I think they believed what, to be fair to them, I believed, which was right before last season, I thought Dak would blink. I thought right before last season, Dak would say, come on, like, all right, I'll take whatever the best last offer is. I need to get paid. And he didn't do it. He didn't do it 2 years ago. He didn't do it last year. And now I think he has all the leverage in the world to just say, franchise tag me, that's fine. And then I'm going to get a 4-year, $160 million fully guaranteed contract from somebody.
So yesterday I did something, and nothing ever gets, in fact, I predicted it on the show with Joy Taylor. I said, this won't be contextualized and people will not understand this. We were talking about Dak's contract, and I said, if you could pay people in order of what they're worth, and the worth would be on talent and then on value, because let's be honest, Bill Belichick let go of a lot of talented people. He never let go of super valuable people. There's a big difference. I've worked with a lot of people in my business who are talented, you get let go. Companies don't let go of valuable people. So I said, the Seahawks offense is so bad schematically, Seattle can't score without Russell. Brady wins you Super Bowls. We've watched the Packers without Aaron Rodgers. They can't win games. And Josh Allen, let's be honest, they were 20 years of nonsense. He's their best running back and their best quarterback. In the second tier, and I knew this would get people worked up, I put Mahomes. And here was my reasoning.
Yeah.
I said, he's more talented than all of them. But Andy Reid's won 13 playoff games without him. They beat the Vikings 2 years ago, a playoff team without him. They are so well coached. They have such good weapons. They would win games without him. They won the divisions without him. They just wouldn't win any Super Bowls. So his talent is an A+, but in terms of the franchise would be Titanic without him, no, they just wouldn't be special. And everybody looked at that and went, that is, I'm literally canceling you. And I thought, is that an outrageous opinion?
Yes, it's an outrageous opinion.
Okay.
And also, I really like what you did there, which is one of my favorite moves at the very beginning, which is I'm being attacked for this opinion, not because it's a terrible one, but because people don't understand how brilliant it is. I go to that move a lot. It's not always correct. Sometimes it's I'm being attacked for this opinion because the opinion's terrible. And you have recreated this Chiefs dynasty pre-Mahomes that didn't exist. In the Chiefs, from Joe Montana's retirement until the day Patrick Mahomes started his first game, the Chiefs won one playoff game. And it was against a Bill O'Brien coach team, so I don't know if it counts. They won one. Andy Reid, oh, he wins divisions. Well, yeah, and he won one playoff game with Alex Smith. A single, solitary playoff game. And somehow you twisted the logic to where you could argue that Mahomes should be, if you were just doing it based on like salary, the Josh Allen thing, maybe, but if you're going to have Rodgers where he is, you cannot have Mahomes beneath him. So no, Colin, you were not attacked for this because it was, you got unfairly edited on Twitter. You were attacked for this because it's wrong.
All right.
And dare I say, I think you need to issue an apology because I'm not for canceling people, but I think this is cancelable. I really do. I think it's such a bad opinion.
And finally, you are more stylish than me. I'm not real, I'm an accountant who has a talk show. I like business. You're bored to death with it. You've got a lot of flash and sizzle. You're the Zach Levine of talk show hosts. I'm the Chris Paul. But here's the thing. Chris Paul goes to Phoenix. They were a mess forever. Take LeBron out of the league. There's an argument to be made. The only people that show up on People magazine don't have their act together. They sell magazines. Don Cheadle and Ed Norton never end up on it. Chris Paul, similarly. We don't talk about him. He's not good on YouTube. He's not good on the highlights. Since Blake Griffin and him divorced, he's got 20 playoff wins. Blake's done nothing. When are people going to get Chris Paul? How is Phoenix now the second best team in the West? How? It's the same crappy roster. Couldn't win.
This is a good opinion. Dare I say a great opinion. This is why I would argue, and nobody agrees with me on this, that at the All-Star break, if we're doing MVPs, you have LeBron and Embiid battling for the top spot. If I had a ballot, Chris Paul would be third. Don't care what his stats say. Don't care that he averages in the low teens in points. This guy impacts winning as much as anyone in the league not named LeBron James. Yeah. You absolutely are correct. The gaudy numbers are not there, but he understands how to control games. He understands how to help get the most out of his teammates. He is as good at the end of games as anybody. Look, Oklahoma City last year was supposed to be tanking.
Yeah.
He dragged them to the postseason. Everyone was in love with the Suns because they went 8-0 in the bubble. They were so bad last year that they went 8-0 in the bubble and didn't even make the play-in game because their record pre-bubble was so egregious. He is the difference. So this, I 1,000% agree with you on. I think you can make the argument he is the second greatest truly small guy in NBA history behind only the original Isaiah Thomas. And by the way, there are a lot of similarities to him and Zeke. which is the numbers don't show you their true impact and control of a basketball game. So on the Chris Paul thing, I 1,000% agree with you. I don't know why Zach LaVine and I got drive-by'd on that, but I'll set that aside. I agree with you 1,000% on Chris Paul.
The minute that came out of my mouth, I felt terrible. Because Zach LaVine's from the Northwest, so I always kind of root for him, and you're my friend. That was kind of a terrible thing to say. Yeah, you're talking extemporaneously, and sometimes stuff comes out you feel bad about.
It happens. It's 5 years, by the way. When you're talking about people being with you, I thought about this. Coming up April, it's me and my wife's, I should know this, 8th year anniversary, but it's your and my 5-year anniversary. How about that?
You mean you coming on the show?
You're never going to boo me.
Boo!
Yeah, you and I. 5 years in April. Yeah.
Wow, that's something.
Hey, I'm not leaving you, and you're not booing me. That's something. It's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. I'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Nick Wright, first things first.